Well, welcome back to another SAF podcast with yours truly, Sterling Sulfur, as our host, and our other host, Josiah.
Hello.
Who are you again, Josiah?
That's a good question. Both me and my psychiatrist have been trying to figure that one out for a long time. Yep.
Quaint.
Very quaint.
And we are joined today by a amazing, awesome boy, Kamen Rider Suture. Who are you again, mister?
Well, I'm a dungeon master. I just finished monster hunting today, and instead of it being the virtual kind of monster hunting, it was the board game time.
Ooh.
And we were all Dragon Ball characters, and for some fucking reason, everyone's given all the good shit to Yamcha. So Yamcha is the best character that we have right now, and he actually killed the Cybermen in a Nemesis war.
Wow.
Or a rival war, I guess.
So you're rewriting history?
Pretty much. I'm just like Trunks, fuck around with the timeline, because, you know, what's anyone gonna do about it?
Uh-huh.
Create another Zamasu?
One can only hope.
Oh boy. Get that Black Goku in there.
Get that Super
Pretty
Saiyan
much
Rose, man.
We're going like ranking wise, so everyone had to start off as someone like pretty shitty. So one person is a pool. One's
Wow.
Yamcha, one was the Cybermen, and then Goku's mother is another one for the only female of the group.
Wow.
Wait, so a character is only mentioned in one panel of an extra of the manga.
Uh-huh.
And then they get, if they die, but you know they got hunt experience with their last character, they get to move up a grade. So the Cybermen has the honor and the privilege to be TN now.
Okay. So was anybody or anything resembling a Chaozu of any kind?
Not yet, but there's always time with those ranks.
So what is Chiatsu? Is he like a third tier or fourth tier?
I give him about the same tier as, you know, young Gohan and Krillin.
I don't know. I mean, freaking Chiatsu.
Isn't
He uses
that-
magic. It's not even fighting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Isn't
He's a vampire magician, isn't that? He's a vampire, isn't he?
he's a Chinese vampire?
Yeah, Chinese vampire boy.
Yeah.
He's Tien's twink, right? Or
Yeah. So just like good old Toriyama-san, we basically use the girl just for breeding, and that's about all she's good for right now.
Oh boy.
ain't that the truth?
Well,
Oh,
that's the world of Kingdom Death monsters. What you gonna do about it?
yeah, outbreed those monsters, man.
How does that work? Because I've been hearing a lot.
Sterling hasn't
about
had to
that
talk
stuff.
yet, apparently.
Yeah, I've only been able to sink my teeth into D&D, and even that I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a dungeon master and you can be whatever kinds of things you want to be, but you roll 20 and you deal damage.
Yeah.
That's all I get.
So
what's up
you
with
mean
this?
like Kingdom Death in general, or just the intimacy?
Yeah, just
part
Kingdom
of it?
Death.
Okay. Well, Kingdom Death, your characters don't have any classes or anything. Basically, you hunt monsters. You get body parts from them after you beat them. Then, after a bunch of random events that are drawn from cards and rolls, if your whole entire settlement doesn't like explode with one roll, then
Okay.
you can produce more children if you have a male and female. Very quickly, almost like when Wooly did it on his Wooly Versus channel, you could end up not like having any population at all. And it's like, oh shit, where's the girls at? There are none, unless you're gonna screw like a 10-year-old.
Oh boy.
Well, it was for society's sake.
So you have to have an even population of male and females, and so you keep going on adventures. You age in that game per hunt, and eventually your character is like forced to retire because he's too old. He's an old monster hunter now, if he survives that long.
So how much does time progress each roll or whatever?
It says, I'm pretty sure it's like a year or something.
All right.
So, but when we have kids, we normally just like, if it's your only choice, you pull a future Trunks or something. You say, yeah, no, they're adults. They came from the future or some shit. Just to make it not seem completely creepy. Just like, I was kind of forced to mate with the female of the group because the other two people were a stranger she doesn't know in real life, or her brother.
I hate it when that happens.
Her real life brother.
Yeah.
And since we're already like ex-boyfriend and girlfriend, it's like, alright, let's do it.
Oh boy.
And sometimes you can like roll bad on intimacy, where it's like, oh, she gave birth, and now just like Padawan, she went, she went the way of Old Yeller.
Oh man.
Okay.
That reminds me of the Star Wars prequels. If you roll bad on intimacy.
And then you can have amazing rolls, and then be like, oh look, we got twins now.
Do you roll for fertility?
No, don't go that far.
Oh.
But it's really bad because guys can actually, like, get their nuts chopped off or like punched off or something, and like literally you get the disorder of you can't have kids.
The celibacy way.
The way of the eunuch.
That's right. So it's a pretty interesting game. And like each run is pretty much different just because of the many different random things that can happen. And now they got so many DLCs out. Like even Slenderman is a DLC right now.
So this is all like an actual like video game of sorts?
Board game.
It's only a board game, or is it a video game board game?
It's just a board game, but on my tabletop simulator we have it in a pretty much like old school RPG format. Where it does most of the rolls automatic and counts everything up for you. So it's almost like you are playing a video game.
Nice.
Alright.
But, the screen is your imagination.
Amazing.
So, for example, Yamcha supposedly punched a gigantic white wolf so hard in the throat that it died the next turn that it had.
Well,
So he gave him the old wolf fang fist.
Yeah, I was about to say wolf fang fist all the way, all the day, baby.
And then he got a really shitty nickname. I forgot what it was now, but it was like the foolish.
Was it not the wolf fister?
No, it was like the fool. It was almost like the full dumbass something or other. He's like, no, that fits Yamcha.
Alright.
Oh, the last part was of the lion instead of the wolf. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
Yep.
Now that I know a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, I mean, you can go watch it on Wooly's Versus, but he kind of just stopped because he had one bad recording and his character died. And he's just like, well, back to the best friend stuff.
Oh boy. That sounds like Wooly.
Just like how he quit on his Naruto Let's Play.
Well, I mean, can you blame him? He started crying too much because he loved the characters.
Yeah.
It's crazy how each of them now have their own side projects besides just the stupid best friends, I mean, Pat really doesn't have a channel. He just streams 24/7.
Yep.
And Matt's got the new flop house, and of course we got Wooly's hole, his video hole. Yeah. Oh man, so I was looking for some new stuff. recently, and by recently I mean the last 3 weeks. And so I've been playing 7 Days to Die on Steam.
How is that?
Which is a game that's still in alpha, mind you. So every once in a while, you'll have to stand at a perfect angle to pick up a rock, or you'll just freeze while you're in the middle of running from something, presumably like a bear or a horde of zombies. But no, it's a basic survival zombie game with a very detailed crafting element.
Isn't that one kind of like Minecraft, where you can like take blocks out of the ground? And
well, yes and no. You could take, like, when you're building something, it has like a skeleton, and so let's say you're trying to build a wooden house, and the most basic thing in the game. And so if it's with something like wood or cement or something in which you have to pour it over another frame, you build frames first, and you can put down frames and pick them up. But as far as like taking blocks out, I mean, like when you destroy part of like a pre-rendered building in the world, you could take out that, like make a new side door or something like that, and it just breaks down in like little segments like blocks, but it's not like you actually take that block. It breaks down into its base elements while you're harvesting it. So like tents, like you'll find tents, and you can smash them and get a whole bunch of cloth from them, and you can dig in the ground, but you can't put dirt back very well if you've broken a whole block of dirt, and so holes are basically forever in this alpha build, and so that's nice for building trenches, but sometimes you dig yourself in too deep, or you drive your mini bike into a canyon, or because there's several different biomes. There's a snow biome with snowy mountains. There's a desert biome. There is a burnt forest biome, which is everything's burnt there. There's a wasteland biome, which is green and has the most concentration of zombie people and zombie creatures in it. And there's a lovely town in there that has a lot of good loot, but it's very hard to penetrate, especially at such an early level. I recently restarted my game. I was in, and the thing is, 7 Days to Die is every 7th night there's a blood moon and a super horde that comes to try and attack you. And so every 7 days you got to prepare for that horde. And fortify your defenses, and because if you're out on your own, you're dead. Like there's like 30 zombies coming at you from every direction. They just spawn in, and they run faster than you can run. And so there's just no winning. Also, there are zombie dogs and zombie bears, and also there are very hostile wolves that are not zombies. Also, there's deer and boars, and little rabbits. That are very hard to shoot with bows and arrows, but you can usually walk up and punch them. Like I said, alpha stage. But in fact, right before we got on the podcast, I was gathering some cotton to make some stuff, and I spied a deer, and I just shot it, and it went down, like it died. And I'm like, what? And so I get up, because you have a sneaking bonus if you're crouched and you shoot something. It's times 2, and so it's really nice for hunting deer that spaz out whenever you touch them or get near them. And so I shot the deer, or I missed the deer, and so I stood up, and there was a freaking wolf right there. Now, usually they're in packs, but for some reason this one wasn't. And so I just positioned myself, and then he saw me, and then I had to shoot 2 crossbow bolts into his face, and was able to kill him and take his deer before he ate it. So I got double meat. So I was very happy. But so it's very I like it. I started a new server right now if anybody else wants to join.
So it's multiplayer?
Yeah. And we've done LAN parties with it as well at my friend's house, because sometimes the online kind of wigs out if you're not connected to the same network. But no, I even made like a little hyper server, and I even posted something, but nobody responded to it. But that's fine. But I'm building a big area and just fortifying everything, and got a nice space near a small town. But it's just fulfilling, because you just go and scavenge, and you also level up, and you can add certain points to perks. Like there's the sexual Tyrannosaurus perk, that gives you 20% more stamina each level that you level that perk up. So it makes you like, because you have limited stamina, and it's all based on a wellness. How would you say that? A wellness scale. So every time you die, you lose a certain amount of wellness, and so that affects your stamina and your HP. They're both always the same, your stamina and your HP. And so if you die, you lose like you had like 20 to 19 wellness, and you start out the game with 100 wellness, and the max cap is 200 wellness. And so if you die several times, you're gonna get pretty weak and can't do much, which makes it even harder to bring up your wellness. So the important thing starting out is not to die, but it's inevitable. You always die within the first 2 days because something happens. And you're naked and afraid and alone because you haven't found clothes and you haven't gotten food or water, or you're in shelter at that point. So you always die somehow. But no, I've gotten my wellness back up to like 102. It takes a while. You have to keep yourself fed and have to get clean water and not get viruses or dysentery. But no, it's a really fun, immersive game. So I really like it, but I would suggest if anybody else likes sort of likes Minecraft, like you said, it is kind of like Minecraft, but then it's kind of not because it has a lot more systems in it, even though it's still in the alpha. So, and the art style is much better than Minecraft. So there you go. That's what I've been up to. Sterling, what have you been up to?
Oh, well, since we're all talking about games, what we did play. Well, I've broken my seal of never ever playing, or actually never ever buying a new game after Neo, the most perfect game ever created by mankind.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten into the realm of Monster Hunter World. Oh boy. And only because I told my friend, hey, you like this kind of stuff, you might like this. I'm like, oh, hey, I really do like that. Hey, you want to play with me? Like, fine, I will. So I cracked it open, and while I've experienced the hunting of monsters on the 3DS through demos and stuff like that, and was like not really feeling it, I was just like, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. This isn't Lost Planet 2. This isn't for me. Stuff like that. And ever since then, I was just like, Monster Hunter is one of them games that are like a bit too extreme for the newbies, you know?
Yeah, I remember playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, man. That was a tough grind.
Yeah. And watching the Djibouti crew doing their thing of like, hey, we're gonna play Monster Hunter World. I'm like, alright, let's watch this. And they were just making it super fun, even though they didn't really figure out how the multiplayer worked for like 2 hours or 3. Still intertwined with what you could do in it. I'm like, ooh boy, I'll give this to my friend as an advice, as a whatchamacallit, as like something he'd like to play, and he got me into it. I'm like, alright, fine, I'll do it. And ever since then, about 3 days or 4 days into it, I'm like almost like 2/3 of the way through, and I'm like loving every moment of it.
Yep.
Even though I do still attest that it is like a kind of a newbie destroyer, but it's not as much as the previous games, because there's a lot of like whatchamacallit, like, how you say English, there's a lot of things that like, My gosh, that makes it easier for newcomers a bit more, but not as much.
Yeah.
As
Well, I
one
mean,
should.
in the older games, I mean, you had to know everything going in. Like,
Exactly.
it had no tutorial. It had no beginning mission. Like, the thing was, oh, hey, choose your class, and, yeah, and they just kind of pushed out there, go in this zone, and then, just figure everything out. Bye.
Like, it's one of those games, like, back in the days that, oh, you want to get into this game? Okay, watch these YouTube videos to see what's up with it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But with this one, like, I felt compelled to do so because, like, there's like a lot of things that they also still don't tell you, and while I'm not always keen on that, this one favors my heart to a degree that I can pass by it with a glance and say, you know what? I'll do it for you, Monster Hunter World. I'll do it for you. So that's what I did, and oh boy, am I loving it. And playing with a friend and or friends is like the greatest way, even though you get less money doing it, it's pretty much fun either way. And progressing through the open worldness of it, quote unquote, it's pretty cool. And that's about it, unless you guys have any Monster Hunter things that you'd like to share or not. Or
I
John,
played the demo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, sorry, the beta when it was out.
Yeah.
I did too, and at that time I was still kind of like, nah, this isn't not for me. What did you think about it, John?
It was fun. Because my friend who never played Monster Hunter before, we would just hunt down Rathalos and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And, it got him interested in it as well. It's just, there's been a lot of games to come out within this last month that have been games that I wanted to get. And ultimately I decided on Dissidia, so...
You fine. Be like that.
He got Digimon instead.
So.
Well, I never played anything outside of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate because it was one of the only good games for the Wii U. And man, oh man, did I really have to like throw myself at that game because it was just oh.
I can feel.
It's like
Did you not enjoy that underwater fight with Legiacris?
Of course, underwater fights are the best, especially in older Monster Hunter games.
Yep.
Oh man. No, it was. I don't even know if I ever beat that. I got tired of it after a while, but the hunt just wasn't. It didn't keep the hunt up. I mean, it was like the remaster. It was like Ultimate, I mean, it should have been streamlined, and apparently that was streamlined for the time. But I'm glad that I'll eventually pick up this Monster Hunter. I'm just not on my biggest list to do, because I already got a game I got hooked on. So, but no, I'll eventually pick it up. I plan to. It looks really fun. I can see, we saw Wooly playing it, and the Djibouti boys, and I've been hearing all the podcasts with Pat just talking off the rails about it. So,
yeah, I still have to hear their podcast. I've been doing that while I've been going through Monster Hunter World, just in the background.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the great thing about the 7 Days to Die is you can turn off all the sounds except for like the world environment sounds to hear when zombies are sneaking up on you. Yeah, and you just turn that all the way up, and then you can put on anything in the background. So I've been catching up with all sorts of super best friends play and Djibouti boys, and I've been catching up with everybody who puts on those 3 or 4 hour YouTube videos. But
also, like talking about Djibouti and then segueing into, how about that Shadow of Colossus? Huh? No? Yeah. I'm still Shadow of Colossus.
I was always an alright fan of it. I never thought it was
I mean, I really love the Shadow of Colossus, but the HD remake is just like, oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it looks like they haven't
With
fixed a
better
whole
graphics.
bunch of bugs with it.
Yeah.
Just kind of slapped a new coat of paint on it.
And they kind of added more bugs to it too.
Well, that's what happens whenever you increase the pixel count. But I mean, like, there's some people, who just like die and swear by it. And it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely something. It's nice to see something in that genre. It's not a very well explored genre. And the fact that they did a nice HD remake is good. That's good. But I mean, it's not super my cup of tea. And
I feel that they should have did it also while doing it with Shadow of Colossus. They should have also did it with Eco, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with them not doing that, but yeah. But yeah, hopefully there's more stuff to it, but I definitely think there isn't. It's just more of the same thing, which if you really, 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 really freaking love that game, then freaking
I've had it.
Yeah, there you go. It's graphics to the nth degree, and that's it. But yeah, any
well, something.
Yes?
Speaking of Djibouti and how they love
Ooh.
movies,
Yes.
segueing into movies, Black Panther comes out this week.
Yes, I'm gonna be seeing it with my little friend that I always go see movies with. Once I get my payday.
Yeah.
And any expectations? I feel like it'll be like fine. It's not gonna be like fantastic in any way. I just feel like it's gonna be, hey, it's one of them Marvel movie that's kind of.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be Ant-Man, but it's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, is it going to be Rotten Tomatoes 98%? I doubt it.
I'm gonna say 80.
I doubt it's going to beat Forrest Gump or Toy Story.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like all the actors in it. I like Michael B. Jordan. I just don't like what the director's saying about it on camera. And
like it's super important or something
well,
like that?
Okay, so there's a couple things that they've been saying. Yes, and the fact that Twitter's been exploding about how it's the best, it's the only blockbuster to ever come out, even though they forget
Blackbuster.
Yeah, the first blockbuster. Yeah, even though they forget Blade.
And Red Tails, don't forget.
Yeah, Red Tails. Well, there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, geez, Rush Hour 2. I mean, there's plenty of big blockbusters. Wild Wild West.
12 Years a Slave.
The Color Purple. But no, but I mean, there's plenty of movies and action movies.
Django Unchained.
Yeah, Django Unchained, probably most recent one. What was it? What's that guy's name?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes, man. Eddie Murphy. Both great action role guys. No, Shaft. Don't think about Shaft.
Shaft? Oh boy.
And Spawn. Spawn was black.
Well, I mean, he was barely black.
But I'm not going to impede on your free speech, okay? But, no, so, I mean, Men in Black, I mean, there's been a lot of, big movies with, black people as the major roles, but, and, I really like Michael B. Jordan, and, a couple of the, let's see, Forrest Whitaker, they fixed his eyes in the movie. So we'll see how uncanny valley that is. Have you seen the pictures of that?
I have not.
They say, Wakanda technology is so advanced that it even fixed Forrest Whitaker's stroke eye. Oh, man. So make sure to look for that. But no, as far as the director goes, he says that what's his face? The 16-year-old sister of the king, she is apparently smarter than Iron Man in the cinematic universe, is what the director's trying to tell people.
Okay.
And like,
well, isn't like comparatively Wakanda as a society is a bit on the level or a bit more than Iron Man? I mean,
well, but see, that's the thing, is that they may have more advanced technology because they have an ore that they don't share with anybody. But yeah, you know, and they may have built technology around that, but I don't think she's actually like smarter, because I think if Iron Man or Tony Stark got a peek at their ore and their technology, he would instantly, you know.
of course, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, yeah, she may have more materials and better materials than Iron Man, but it's like Iron Man has shown on several occasions to just instantly, you know, combine two things to make it, you know, use synergy, basically.
He's the MacGyver
Basically.
of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I mean, he's probably the smartest person in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe at this time. But so there was some people on the comic book side calling crap on that because it's not how that is in the comics. But and you know, there's a whole just a whole political scene around this movie.
Yeah,
it's just a little ugly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just it.
Which is a shame,
well,
because, you know.
Well, the important thing is to remember, okay, comic books have always pushed boundaries, and they've always talked about subjects like war and poverty, addictions. You know, they've always talked about serious things, so it's nothing new.
And BDSM.
Yeah, well, you know, comics have always been political, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say they haven't ever been political, and they shouldn't be political, because they need to have compelling storylines and elements that mirror real life, you know. Bring more humanity to these superheroes. But the biggest thing about it is that when it turns from, oh, this is something political, and like Civil War is great because it has Tony Stark, not the movie, but the much more well, I mean, you could say the movie, but the much more descriptive comic that has a lot more going for it.
Yeah.
You could, I mean, that's good. You know, you have two sides, and neither one is exactly right. You know. But the thing about this is that people are trying to push it as a propaganda piece, and that's where it gets a little in the no area. Is whenever you go from, oh hey, I love Donald Duck, especially that one where he's a Nazi. You know, it's where it goes from, oh hey, yes, these are great cartoons, and they talk about hard pushing issues, to, oh, this is straight propaganda. Like people saying that people seriously saying on Twitter that Wakanda is what Africa would be like if the white people never came to Africa. Which is just ridiculous from any way you say. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, your political affiliation. That should just be ridiculous no matter what.
Of course,
but but that's the only problem I have with it. And also, it's a good thing, but it's also just a little on the nose. Is that in Europe, actually, in Britain, I just read something earlier today about the BBC reporting about people who are now crowdfunding so that disprivileged black teens can go see the Black Panther. I mean, can't that go to like schooling or you know, like education or safe sex practices, or I mean something a little more productive than, oh hey, you need to go see the superhero film because it's about black people. But I digress. That's about it. It's political as we're gonna get. You know, it's just, you know, it's think about it how you want, but whenever you get too extreme, it just looks bad on every side.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just glad, we're going to be seeing lots of screen time of Rathalos and, Legaia Chris and the Monster Hunter. Because, that's what Capcom did, right? Fused the two worlds together. Yeah, with a dead game.
Yeah.
Also, I feel we will finally find the way, and they will find the queen. And we'll see lots of screen time for our main boy Knuckles.
Oh man, if they sneaked in a Ugandan Knuckles meme in Black Panther, that would beat Ant-Man #1.
Oh, man.
That's about the only way I can see it beating Ant-Man.
If all of a sudden, like, the end credit scene is like the black main character is like looking at his phone, and it's like confirming that he was the one who started the Ugandan Knuckles meme, and he's like
Captain
he looks
Gustav.
back at the camera, and he smiles and nods,
Okay.
and then that's it.
That'd be spicy.
Now, the end and theme also for the movie could just be.
Oh man. Have you seen the newest Ugandan Knuckles where it's him with a whole DJ station, and it's going it's playing a Blue was it I'm Blue by Eiffel 65, but it's saying do you know the way and it's just
yeah
and the mouth is synced up perfectly with it. Oh my gosh.
I love how the meme's supposed to be like dead because so many people are just getting sick of it, but
It just keeps getting
in the
stronger.
way
It's evolving.
in the way it's just getting stronger.
It's digivolving, you can say.
Well, I mean, even recently, my friend and I, we were playing Dynasty Warrior Empire, and we made Ugandan Knuckles, and he was taking over all of China.
It's not too far off reality.
Yeah. And I mean, we already had one of my other, like, I have about 2 or 3 Kingdom Death Monster groups going. One of them said if their characters die, they're just going to name them Ugandan Knuckles and Ugandan Sonic. Because when our female of the group decided to decide her name, she said, "The Queen."
Yeah.
So even they are going to be invading our Kingdom Death Monster game. It's just like, the Ouija effect. Ugandan Knuckles looks at you and you become a Ugandan Knuckles.
We all have a Ugandan Knuckles deep down in our
Yeah, that's right.
If you tear off all the flesh, you find a Ugandan Knuckles and a skeleton. Oh man.
And if you're really lucky, you'll find a Uganda shadow somewheres. Shadow of his former self.
Or a Ugandan ocelot.
It's kind of interesting to see how VR chat has gone. It's dropped in popularity a little bit, I'd say. It was all over for like a month, and then it's just slowly teetering off until the next big thing propels it back to the spotlight.
I think it's gonna go the way of like how Second Life is. It's like it's kind of always there, lingering.
People are gonna start selling real homes on VR chat.
Yeah, people are gonna sell actual things in the real world so that they can use that as currency to use in their VR chat rooms and stuff like that.
Oh man. So being a student of the business arts as I was, I saw some very dated teaching materials. One of which was the company that tried to start having all of their VPs and higher ups using Second Life to communicate in virtual chat rooms modeled just like their offices. And not only did they pay real money for somebody to model those offices after them, but they also paid money to get perfectly matched avatars. And man, oh man, was it funny seeing these 40, 50-something-year-old people trying to figure out how to, number one, control Second Life, and number two, what to do. And how this was efficient, and how the director of the company thought this was a good idea.
Yeah.
They thought it would be the future.
I mean, the thought of it to be like, I guess that was going to be used as like, I guess, training or something like that?
No, it was for super official meetings and like things where you shouldn't be doing it on an open channel internet.
Wow, yeah, okay, no. That's a no-no.
Not only that, but like a lot of people didn't understand how to log in, and
wow.
yeah, and a lot of people didn't understand which rooms they were supposed to go into, and man, oh man, it was, and obviously that company's not around anymore, and
Wow. Yeah.
it's just kind of fallen to the wayside because no serious company ever does that, especially since they invented FaceTime. It's like, and Skype. It's like, why would you ever? They're trying to improve. Skype was around at that time, and you could use it for video calls and stuff like that.
But I don't think it was like mainstream by then.
No, it was like they talked about how they previously used Skype, and but they wanted to have a more personal thing besides just flying out to go meet business partners.
Personal.
So they actually met business partners in Second Life and convinced business partners to set up Second Life accounts and get into this process with them so they could talk and shoot the shit online in unsecured servers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, it was like the ultimate like time waster of these people who were very busy and had important things to do.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, the whole thing with like VR chat and that, it's like everyone can only do so much creepy stuff until it just gets boring and unfunny. And then once YouTubers stop caring and start realizing that they won't make as much money off the videos as they did when it first started, it's gonna die. They'll have to move on to the next creepy thing. I mean, the Miiverse isn't around anymore, so they can't be creepy on there.
Well, that's probably the
VR
best.
chat's dying too.
And that's probably the best thing about VR chat is that you can instantly block somebody and not have to even recognize their presence after that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll give them this. They're at least creative.
Yeah, it's surprising to see all the games that have come out, and that it's probably going to be up to the activities and the games that really makes it, and all because I mean like a lot of the original rooms and big things have already been expanded upon. Like there's a lot of different stuff now, and it seemed to already reach max creativity as far as different rooms and worlds go. So I think the next thing is going to be like activities and games.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, they already have all the aspects there.
Assets.
Or assets. There you go. Yeah, English.
I got this 16 by 9 down pat. But no, yeah. So that's definitely been a big thing. But man, oh man, can you believe it? Dragon Ball Fighters beat out freaking Marvel. Can you believe it?
Wow, amazing.
Yes, I can, because it's a better game. And there's a lot more love put into it, and not just hey, look at this cash grab. Why not just do another one?
I don't know. Maximilian seems a little bummed about it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, there's people like Maximilian who are just like, they still kind of want to defend Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, but at the very least, he still gets it as to why it's not there.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing about Dragon Ball Fighters is that it's fun from every aspect. Like, when was the last time you came to your friend's house and they had a fighting game, and you recognized it and you go, oh no, I'm gonna have to play this. And with Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters, it's hey, we get to play this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will attest. I don't know if this is going to be the same for everyone or anybody. But this is like really the only fighting game, 2D fighting game, that I can actually just sit down and watch people just go at it, whether they know it or not. I'm always having fun watching them play a Dragon Ball Z game that's just fun to watch. It's just everything just feels fluid and like it looks great, and the combos are fairly easy to do, but at the same time there's still stuff out there that can like do all this stuff to negate that, like newbie combo stuff. And
there's several tiers of play.
Yep.
But old homeboy of ours, Spencer Peters, has been tearing it up on fighters.
Yes, he
and
has.
been posting videos all the time, and I've been watching every single one of them. And man, oh man, I love his
clutches.
The way that Piccolo Trunks combinations, man, it's ridiculous.
Piccolo is like the counter character, and he can get around stuff, and then Trunks is just that damage dealer, man. It's pretty fun.
And he's like the little Mac. He just gets in there and just starts pounding.
Yeah. But man, oh man, when's that Jiren DLC coming?
It'll come when it's good and ready.
Broly has to come out first.
No, fudge Broly.
Would you rather have female Saiyan number 2, Brawly clone, or actual Brawly?
The cauliflower one, whichever it is, however you say her name.
Yeah, cauliflower.
Because it's canon.
So
And
Kale.
it's not. And it's not. I really hope they don't put Brawly in.
They said what could be possible if they are doing something with like the whole Kale situation is it'll probably be the fusion of cauliflower or Kale, or it'll be
So
cauliflower, and she will have like Kale as an assist, and then maybe if you spend the 3 gauge for the maximum super or whatever, they turn to their fusion form.
Which is, by the way, canon called Kefla. I wonder where I've heard that name before.
I wonder.
But no, here's the real thing. Are we going to get cooler?
Yeah, I'd like the final form cooler, because first form is just purple Frieza.
Yeah, of course. Everybody likes the second form, except for when he's not wearing the mouthpiece.
Yeah, no. Put the mouthpiece on.
Let's see, and then here's an even bigger question. Are we gonna get Mr. Satan, or are we gonna get Master Roshi?
No. Here's the biggest question: are we going to get Lord Slug?
Oh,
come on!
I've been seeing a lot of love for Lord Slug, man. I was surprised, man. The Djibouti boys were talking about him. Freaking Wooly talking about him. That Nails, but nobody wants Nails.
Listen, you probably have more chance of getting Turles than Slug. Because they're like, look, another Goku.
Oh yeah.
What about Bardock? Any love for Bardock? I mean, he died instantly, but
well, unless you go like the Dragon Ball Heroes route, where he comes back as Super Saiyan 3.
why?
Oh man.
Why?
Because there was a time-space portal that was opened by Trunks or some shit.
Oh boy.
Trunks fucking around with the future yet again. Brings Bardock back, and then suddenly he's Super Saiyan 3.
But yeah, Mr. Satan and Roshi, they feel like they're a go-to for DLC predictions in the future.
Well, especially because Master Roshi was in the Tournament of Power, so he already kind of lines up with...
But at that same time, do you think there's going to be a OG Dragon Ball Goku in the mix?
Oh, with a power pole, I wish.
Yeah.
Dude.
With that art style?
Dude.
Yeah.
Can we get Launch, too? Can we get a good female character?
I don't know. I think they're already forgotten about her.
Well, I
Unless
mean,
diehard fans.
Toriyama obviously has forgotten about her, but I mean everybody else.
Of course.
Nobody else has forgotten about her. I mean, why do you think he gets every time he goes to a con, somebody asks about launch? Oh.
He's like, oh. And then he has that memory thing and like, oh wait, who is that again?
Which baby mama is she?
Oh right, she wasn't a mother. Oh, who cares about her?
Oh, well, yeah. There was a guy on Reddit who was trying to argue that Tien Shinhan was the strongest human and it wasn't Krillin. And man, oh man, did he get ripped a new one. Because Tien Shinhan is an alien. He's not... He's from the...
Well, is he?
Yes,
an
he
alien,
is.
Though? Are you
He's from the
sure
Third Eye
about
tribe.
that?
Yes, he is an alien. They're aliens. They're revered as gods, just like Yami on the Earth.
Okay.
And he did evil deeds and got shunned from his clan. That is the official backstory.
I mean,
Also, whoops! I guess I got my Dragon Ball lore wrong. Supposedly, what happened in the Bardock situation is at the end of Xenoverse 2, or near the end.
oh yeah.
Bardock takes Mira down in some dark portal or some shit. So then in Dragon Ball Heroes, he comes back out of the portal, Mira absorbs Toa again and becomes that weird Saiyan ape form of his. Against like Super Saiyan 4 Broly, whatever the fuck Toa does to him.
Uh-huh.
It's like Berserk on top of Berserk form, I guess. Puts a mask on him and then he goes ape shit. And then Bardock comes through with him and he's like, well, I guess I can go Super Saiyan 3 somehow. Because if Goku can do it, why the fuck not? I guess while traveling through the dark space, he collected up so many S cells that he was able to obtain the power of turning into Super Saiyan 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
Oh man. I just want to double check and make sure I wasn't remembering that wrong. And I typed in is Tien Shinhan, and then the first thing that came up human, the second thing came up gay. But no, I was right.
Uh-huh.
Also, if we're thinking between Roshi or Mr. Satan, I think Mr. Satan has a better chance.
I don't know.
Because he'll
I
just
want
be
to
the
use that
gimmick
Mafuba,
character.
man.
Yeah.
Like, who's the other gimmick character? Tien right now? Krillin?
Tien, because he's got that, what was it, tri-beam attack that can just blast people into death if he's the last one out and there's only one person
Yeah.
left. Yeah, if you have enough meter, you can just blast them to death. You can't dodge it, you can't counter it.
Uh-huh.
It takes up like half the screen. And you people literally just blasted other people, if they have the meter, just blasted other people
Yeah.
into oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably going to be a huge proponent on the rules on Evo, so we'll see.
Oh boy.
We'll see how they handle
Well,
that, or if it's
Captain
patched
Ginyu
before
also
then.
has a gimmick as well.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said Captain Ginyu also has the gimmick
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Hmm,
His
yeah.
changing body. Which is pretty fun.
So what type of Infinity Stone BS is going to be going on at the Evo tournament for Dragon Ball Fighters? Do people, if they win, gather a Dragon Ball? If they gather all 7 Dragon Balls, then they can make a wish?
And any wish they want.
Oh man, I would love to see somebody at Evo actually gather the Dragon Balls. In the game.
Mm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And just turn the tide. Just like working so hard, the other guy's just pounding him. And then, gets the Dragon Balls and completely just annihilates the other guy. Oh.
Whoever collects the 7 Dragon Balls in the Evo tournament gets to, in the finals, play as the secret final character that, or the first DLC character that is supposed to come out, and that's when it will be revealed. They'll be like, oh, here it is, and only this person can play as him because he collected the Dragon Balls and wished for the fighter.
It's Bulma.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Dr. Gero.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pull.
Oh man, just think if they brought
Dr. Wheelo, please enjoy.
just think if they brought back some of the lieutenants from Dragon Ball, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Blue, Violet,
Silver.
Violet got underplayed. It's racism.
Everyone's favorite character, Garlic Jr. is back.
Yes.
Everybody always talks about Garlic Jr. Why not Garlic Sr.? So much hate.
Yep.
Oh.
So I guess we can wrap this up and go towards our homework of,
Watching Black
I
Panther.
believe, the 5th episode of Darling in the Franxx. Have you done your homework, John?
I watched the 3rd and 4th.
You didn't watch the first and second yet, have you?
Nope.
Okay.
It's better
And I
that
believe-
way.
I don't know if you're right or wrong at this point. We'll see.
But yes, since I was out last podcast, quote unquote, maybe a ghost podcast that may never see the light of day.
It may have to go in the Disney vault for a couple of years.
But yes, I went through 3, 4, and 5. So I guess we can all restate our thoughts about 3 and 4, and then go to 5.
We didn't talk
Or
about it.
just
We
like-
didn't talk about it last podcast. So
Oh, cough. Okay, cough. All right, then 3, 4, and 5.
So Sterling, you just recently watched all of them. I have not.
Yeah.
I just watched 5 today. Can you remind me what's in 3 and 4?
Oh boy. All right, let's see here.
Because everything's starting to mix together now. It's after 5 episodes.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like samey, and like from 3 to 4, it was kind of like at that point where like you're watching an anime and you're reading the subtitles, and then you forget to read them, or like, oh wait, what's happening? I gotta rewind it. Oh, okay, that's happening. Okay, pause. Let me read this. Okay, so it doesn't go by too fast. Okay, that's what's happening. Okay, fine. Okay, play. That's pretty much what I had to do with 3 and 4 because they were just so dull and just more of the same tropey anime stuff. But
I fought that snake one, right? The worm one.
that one was the 4th one.
Okay.
The 3rd one was they were fighting balls.
Mhm.
Oh, the nest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I remember.
Yeah. But man, at the very least, 5, for what it's worth, has been my favorite so far. But that's not saying much at all because I would have dropped this at the first episode. I was like, nah, this ain't my thing.
We'll see.
With all that's going on, but you know,
Trigger has a way of bringing you
yeah,
back.
we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
about that.
It's A1 and Trigger, right? Who are doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it A1 or someone else. Yeah, it's weird that an anime production company also makes steak sauce, but I mean, what can you expect?
Yes.
Sony sells life insurance in Japan.
Yep.
But
Gotta get that money.
yeah, wherever you can find it. But yeah, so gosh, it's been a wild ride, and they finally let Hero get in the damn robot again.
Because he wants to. Whoa.
what kind of robot show is this?
Yep. there's not really much to say about it except for like it still has that tropey aspect and it has that fan servicey aspect towards it, and it's like kind of like balancing it between those two, but at the same time there's still something there that leaves a lot of things unanswered, and like you're kind of wanting to know them, but like even though that it's not like extremely expressing you to like find them, to like wait to find them, it's just like, yeah, you'll get to that eventually, I guess.
Well,
or not.
it's doing what I like to call breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
It's like Hansel and Gretel, where they leave breadcrumbs, and so hopefully you think you're gonna find something at the end of the breadcrumbs, and whether we find that something at the end of the breadcrumbs, like it's leading to something bigger and better, and you see little pieces of it here and there within the mediocrity, and you're hoping that it turns out and that the writers aren't just trying to look like they're good and are actually building something. So it's definitely something that some studios do a lot better than others, so we'll see how this one goes.
Someday
There's
Luffy
also-
will find the One Piece.
Someday. But yeah, there's also some like very, very weird, unnecessary artsy fartsy cinematography and choreography done.
Well, some of the backgrounds almost looks like they painted, man. Like, especially when they're up in the greenhouse. Sometimes it looks really good.
But like once it goes to like widescreen for no reason, like okay, and then it goes to like those sidebars of like, oh, here's like a manga panel for some reason, feeling of it, like, all right, it's very unnecessary, but okay, that's fine.
Also, it's nice to say that 5 episodes in, we still don't know what a Klaxosaur is, so...
Yeah, for some reason I feel like it's mechanical, and
well, it's organic and mechanical, because it has some sort of blue blood in it.
Some kind, well, it's... I feel as though, like, the first time I feel like it was mechanical was, like, when that worm came out, and it was, like, spinning blades in its mouth.
That
like,
could be organic.
I guess that's I don't know.
Are you a zoologist? I don't think so. And anyways, this isn't even necessarily on Earth. But,
yeah.
No, well, the reason it has to be organic somehow, because 02 is half human, half Klaxosaur, however that works. Or at least that's what they imply heavily several times.
I think that's what they're implying, but I'm not too sure if they're implying that it's the other half is a Klaxor or whatever.
Klaxosaur.
I think they're implying that it's another form of... Well, we'll get there, I guess.
Why could she smell Klaxosaurs then? And
well,
why is the opening shot with them holding
made.
guns against her, finding her in the wild? Is she gonna be like some sort of chosen midichlorian child? I just don't know.
Also, there's like, well, this is like one of them, like, cinema sins or whatever you want to call it. When they were like taking away 002 or whatever her name is.
02.
Haired girl. All right. Yeah.
ZT.
And with guns that clearly were meant to shoot her or anything like that, but not, because they were forcing her to go do this very, I guess, extremely important thing on going back to the line. So why are they using live ammunition to do that? I don't know.
Another thing, okay, so there's front lines, and so where are we then? Are we in some sort of boony? I assume we're in some sort of boony station. But yet we still have very high-ranking officials there. Not on the front.
She's also a high-ranking official that can go through any door.
Yeah,
like,
but...
Alright.
No, it's also all society's underground, and all these kids grew up without knowing that. They thought that they were just the top biodome part of it, and they never knew that there was a city below, because when she takes Hero down, she's like, oh, there's a city down here? What? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
Yeah, and then there's like a lot of implying of sexuality towards their society, or like whatchamacallit it, not really implementation of implying it.
Well, their application on fighting the
yeah.
Klaxosaurs is very sexy.
And well, also like in the 5th episode of, or at the end of the 4th episode going into the 5th episode, they're those, whatever they're called, their home worlds or whatever,
The pods, yeah. Well, they're gonna be
are
kissing.
going to
That's
be
right.
kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, all right, and then one of the girls explains, "Oh, they exchange magma fluid." Like, oh, okay.
Well, also
They
it's
exchange
important to
magma
note
fluid.
that the girls in the robot are called parasites, and then the guys are called
Yeah.
stamens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a stamen is?
Not really, but I think I can guess.
A stamen is a part of a flower that releases the pollen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was. Yeah. Yeah. Wowzers.
Also, there was that interesting note in the 5th episode where Mr. I'm such a tough guy, but I'm the shortest guy. Didn't learn his name because I don't like him. The guy who keeps challenging Hero. But he was asking if anybody in their squad had become an adult.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And so that was really weird too,
Yeah.
because they don't explain what he was actually
Like
asking.
more-
They were just like, "Oh yeah, nope." And somebody was like, "Oh," he's like, "I don't know, understand what you're saying." The guy from the different squad says, and then somebody from his squad says, "Oh, I think he means it like this," and doesn't say anything explicit. And it's like, "Oh, nope, nobody." Okay,
I thought the wording there was, "Oh, he doesn't know,"
yeah,
something like that.
something like that. But I don't. Kids and sex, man, it's weird.
I
Yeah,
thought the
it's-
whole reason why they had that horned chick there in the anime was just so they had an excuse to put a monster girl in their anime.
Well, you gotta catch up with killing
'Cause,
bites,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's the thing these days. You can't have
Yep.
an anime without a monster girl somewhere's in it.
Oh,
That's
boy.
right. We get that lesbian horse racing
That's
girl
right.
anime this year.
Oh yeah.
The one that was previewed 3 years ago.
Well, it wasn't really previewed 3
It
years
was a teaser.
ago. It was.
Teaser.
It wasn't a teaser either. It was a opening for a iOS game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, it had the anime teaser though, saying that it would become an anime.
No, it was just an opening for it. It
Yeah.
was just like, oh, here that is, and then that, I guess, garnered attention to say, oh, I guess we can make this an anime now, and that's what they did. So yeah. I have no idea what the iOS game entails, but I'm pretty sure it's very much in the likes of.
I bet it's a tower defense game.
Well, it just begs the question, and like, how many years from now do you think it's gonna be when Ash Ketchum, instead of catching Pokemon, has to catch sexy version of Pikachu and Charmander and Bulbasaur and all that?
Well, I hate to burst your bubble,
I
John,
mean,
but I think
yeah.
Pornhub already has the rights to that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
How many of them do you think is lollies compared to?
I think there's an
All of
actual
them.
game.
All of them
I think
except for
there's
Snorlax.
I think there's an actual game where all it is it's a pretty much a rip off of Pokemon, but all you do is catch lollies. So I'm pretty sure that exists.
Oh yeah, that's the Rick and Morty game. Yeah, One True Morty.
Well, that's sure.
Pocket Mortys. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some anime out there like that too.
Like what? Capturing
Lollies. I'm sure that's a thing.
It's like Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Nice shot.
erotica.
Nice.
This is my fetish.
I swear I'm only doing it for the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were your thoughts on the 5th episode, Josiah?
Oh, I liked it. It's nice to actually have a little bit of character development.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Instead of them just fumbling around in robots.
Exactly.
That they've supposedly been trained their whole lives for. And were selected because they had the best synchronization rates and were the best. But apparently this post-apocalyptic world is just not... people just aren't up to snuff, even though it's not post-apocalyptic because they have tens of thousands of people underneath these pods.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. It's hard to tell when you don't know the whole, like... They haven't set up the lore, and they're purposefully releasing it in bits.
Yeah.
But it's annoying at the same time. It's nice they didn't just like slap it across your face and they're trying to do something more original with it, but it also just leaves so many questions that you're going to have to revisit and rewatch certain parts once you learn the truth.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah. And it's all like, oh, it's been there all the time. If there's good writing, of course.
Yeah, well, we'll just see we'll see if the answer's good or the answer's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, what were you expecting? An next Code Geass or something?
I would kill for a new Code Geass.
Isn't there gonna be one?
Oh, great.
Yeah, but it's a spin-off.
I got the name right. In case you listeners don't know, I'm not that big into anime. I'm a toku guy, not a anime boy.
You are a toku guy. Oh, man. But,
that's why you gotta listen to these professionals and not my opinion.
Well, I don't know. Your top 10 lists of games beg to differ. I don't know. There's a lot of Dragon Ball there.
Mm.
oh, boy.
A lot of iOS games there, boy.
Well, it's actually... Well, speaking of anime, getting off the Franxx train here for a second.
Yeah.
We got a big lineup coming this year. We've got Boku no Hero Season 3. We've got a new season of Lupin the Third set in France coming out in the fall.
Dang.
I know. And it's from the same studio that the last one. I'm so happy.
Jeez Louise. Yes.
And then there's one other thing, too, that I was super pumped about. Oh, man, what was I was just talking to my work associate the other day about it.
For some reason, I'm not too sure if this is true or not, but there was a video that I was watching that was explaining, oh, these are all the 2018 animes that are coming out.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're gonna get that Evangelion movie, the last one. Even Anno confirmed it in the video.
He's tired of doing Godzilla spin-offs.
He's tired of making the only good Godzilla movie of all time.
No.
So.
That's deep. That cuts deep. But no,
were you thinking about High School DxD Heroes?
Oh yes, of course. The only anime that everybody needs to watch.
Oh man.
There's that food porn game, or not game, show.
Oh, that's it. It's a new season of Shokugeki no Soma. That's what it was.
Yeah.
There's Persona 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as good as the game. But no, and I'm hoping we get a new Ippo. It's been almost 4 years since the last Ippo season.
Man. Yeah.
They
already have they have enough to make an anime out of it.
It's 600 chapters. They got more than enough. They got enough to keep rolling out the seasons of anime until the manga ends.
What's the other one? Ashita no Jo? Or something like that? Ashita no Jo? Or Jo Ashita or something like that. The one with the boxing... the other boxing one. With Joe in the title? I forget.
Not familiar with that one off the top of my head. The only other one I can think of is Rikudo.
No. It's like a movie that's going to come out.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like-
it's a movie. That's why I haven't heard it.
It's based off of the old anime from like the 70s or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Then I'll keep an eye out for it.
Thank
More
you,
importantly,
Japan.
Creed 2, Deadpool 2. We'll see if Disney sinks its claws into it or not. I keep praying
Well,
to
isn't
Ryan
it
Reynolds
also-
daily.
Isn't it also made by Sony as well?
No, it was made by Fox.
The first Deadpool movie?
Yes, it was done by Fox. Because they owned his rights. It was Fox.
Yeah.
And that's why when Disney bought Fox, they got all of Deadpool.
So wait. X-Men is owned by Sony, right?
No, X-Men is owned by Fox. Sony only owns... They own Spider-Man, and then they own the Fantastic Four, but then Fox bought those back for the terrible redo with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And those are the only two that Sony had was Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. To my immediate knowledge, they probably owned one or two more. But no, X-Men was always done by Fox. And so is Deadpool.
Alright. Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Japan has a chance to rebirth Beyblade, since it seems Beyblade Burst is coming out in Japan.
Yes.
So don't fuck it up and go like Bay Wheels again, because that was stupid.
Hey, not everything can be beat 'em on, and
Yeah. Well, when they heard, or when they learned that card games on motorcycles don't work, I don't know what they thought when they thought Beyblades on motorcycles would work.
yeah.
But
They
this
should
looks
do
like Beyblade, so maybe they'll go back to the days of when they're like razor blades spinning around on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
they should just
See,
change
now
it
we
to-
just get to be, now we get to be cranky old men with anime we used to watch.
No, they should just change. They should just scrap Beyblade and just start with the younger generation and make it fidget spinners.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, what if that's one of their gimmicks? It's like, oh, I only use my Beyblade on my fingertips,
Yeah.
and then
Well, what if they
Oh,
somehow
Dragoon.
combined it, tops and fidget spinners?
No, they have to use fidget spinners to power up their Beyblades, you see. That's what summons the spirits out.
they have to use
The
fidget
faster
spinners on
it
their
spins, the more spirit energy.
So it's Beyblade, Shaman King, and fidget spinners all rolled
Yeah.
into one.
belt. Oh man, I still have to get into Shaman King. That's right.
Remember to only listen to that English opening, okay?
Hmm.
Best one.
Oh, okay. I'll watch them both, but alright.
Yeah, that was right. The original Shaman King was dubbed by 4Kids, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
it was the rebuff of Shaman King also still done by 4Kids, or
I don't know.
was it not?
I just remember the original one, watching him on the 4Kids.tv children lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, the manga for Shaman King was actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it was good.
But it's
I-
also because
I
the four
suspect-
kids will never get another Ultimate Muscle.
Mm.
You never know. It can come back. I mean, we got
They own the
freaking.
rights.
We got Ushio to Tora.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
might get Ultimate Muscle. Who knows? We can only wait.
I guess there's more Fist of the North Star coming out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Even though I really like Fist of the North Star, its new stuff has always been really not that great.
Hmm.
It just it just doesn't have the same soul, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of Hotoko no Ken, This is Shoten no Ken.
Yeah.
So
Which
Shoten no Ken.
believe is like a predecessor
Hmm.
before the bad stuff of Apocalypse.
Yeah, before the nukes dropped.
Yeah. So we wrapping it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Anybody have anything else?
Valentine's Day is next week.
Oh, that's correct.
That sounds like time to play Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but What?
Any traditional stuff that you do on Valentine's Day with a loved one?
Nothing.
Or vice versa? Oh, nothing. Oh.
I don't ever think that I have either been in a relationship. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship when Valentine's Day rolls around.
Huh. Well. How about you, John? Nothing? No?
No, when I was with an ex, I just watched Kamen Rider with her.
As is tradition.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'm the only one who goes a little bit balanced board, not overboard or underboard of, oh, you want some chocolates? You want some ice cream?
Some chocolate?
Oh, you want...
How can
wanna
I
watch
buy
it?
your love?
You want some fun movies to watch that are gonna make you cry? Okay, here you go. And
Devilman Crybaby.
I've already watched that with her, and she was like, "No, that's not my thing." Like, all right, that's fine. All that stuff in it, yeah. The NSFW stuff.
So all of it.
Well, the last episode. So
I mean, whenever
you know
he
what?
does a freaking Michelangelo in his bedroom. You painted the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
I gotta get that on Urban Dictionary before someone steals my thunder.
Yeah. So yeah, anything you're looking forward to this week, Josiah?
No, hopefully I can get some tickets to go see Black Panther. But besides that, nothing super big coming out. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my doggo in 2 weeks. So I gotta
Was it
finish doggo
Francine,
proof in the house.
Frankie.
Yep, little Frankie, little Francine.
All right. How about you, John? Anything you looking forward to this week? Upcoming.
Not too much. I mean, I just hope that my D&D Kingdom Death keeps going fine, and hopefully I find time to watch some Lupin Ranger, since that's the newest thing out.
Is that the actual newest Kamen Rider?
That's
Or-
the newest Power Ranger group. Lupin
okay.
Ranger versus Kaisatsu Sentai Pata Ranger.
All right.
And it's like I posted with the photo there, it looks pretty much like Persona 5, the friggin' Sentai group. And then of course there's Kamen Rider catch up on, because he has a new dark form.
Oh man, I always forget about Kamen Rider Ketchup. Of course, there's already been one Kamen Rider Mayo.
Mm-hmm. So other than that, not really.
Alrighty. And I guess I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe buying a subscription to Sketchbook Pro, because I'm almost pretty much on my last day, and for some reason I've got to pay for it now because I restarted my whole computer. I'm like, alright, fine, I guess I'll repay it again. But other than that, doing more Monster Hunter World and more artwork and starting school this week, and hopefully that turns out swelly. And yep. Anything else before we sign off?
The joys of being an artist.
All right.
Don't forget the spaghetti.
Alrighty. What do we always say?
Don't get eliminated.